Right, in the last presentation we were looking at the circular flow of income. So we were looking at how we can model our economy using the circular flow of income. What I want to do now is to move on to something we call aggregate demand, or AD. What we're looking at here is the value of the output of the country. So to graph this, what we can do, first of all, create our axes. On the vertical axis, we have price level. On the horizontal axis, we have real GDP. Aggregate demand line is downward sloping. It's exactly the same as a basic demand curve from Unit 1. It's downward sloping because as prices fall, people are more willing and able to buy more in the economy. So in this case, as prices fall, we can see that our real GDP will increase because people will be demanding more output. The word aggregate is just a word to describe all demand within our economy. Demand in the last unit was looking at an individual market or individual person's demand. Here, it's everything demanded in the economy. Aggregate demand is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. So what you should now know is that C stands for consumption, I stands for investment, G stands for government spending, X is for exports, and M is imports. So I'm just going to create an imaginary point on our AD line. So let's imagine that the economy is operating at this point here. We'll label that P1Y1. Clearly, if price was to increase, we'd have lower GDP in the economy. If price levels fell, higher demand, therefore higher GDP in the economy. What I want to cover now is what can lead to an increase in aggregate demand in the economy. So I'll draw an increase in AD. I'll label this AD1 and label the new output point Y2. What we can see then is that as the price levels stay the same, for some reason or other people are demanding more from the economy. So let's think about what might have happened here then. So I'm going to copy out this equation again. AD C plus I plus G plus X minus M. So for AD to increase, something has got to have changed with these different letters. So for example, consumption might have gone up. Investment might have increased. Government spending might have increased. Exports might have gone up, or imports might have gone down. Of course, what we might have is a combination of these different things. So let's think very quickly about what might have created some of these different letters to change. Let's take consumption first of all. I want to introduce something here called the marginal propensity to consume. So let's say, for example, we have an individual that earns £100 a week. If they was to spend £60 of their money, they spent 60% of their money, their MPC would be 60%. If for one reason or another somebody's MPC was to increase to 80%, they're spending more of their money, therefore AD would increase. Linked to this, we have marginal propensity to save. In other words, how much of somebody's income they intend to save. What we find is when people expect us to head towards a recession, people start to save more money. They're worried about their job security. So as people start to save more, AD would decrease. So to get to AD1, the MPS, the marginal propensity to save, must have fallen to encourage greater consumption in the economy. I, investment. This again could be linked to economic predictions. So if we're thinking about business investment, if businesses expect growth in the economy, so we're heading towards a boom for example, they know demand for their products will increase. To get ready for this, they'll invest more into the economy. So they'll expand their businesses for example. At some points in the economic cycle, the government will start to spend more. So if the government will start spending more on education, healthcare for example, this will lead to a growth in government spending and therefore AD in the economy. Exports. If other countries across the world start demanding more of our goods and services, this leads to an injection into our economy and therefore a growth in AD. If imports were to fall, this would mean there's less money leaking out of the economy, which means that more money stays in our economy, which means AD again will start to increase. What you can hopefully see from this is that AD is heavily influenced by injections and leakages. We know that the injections are investments, government spending, and exports. Those three letters are all in this equation for AD. If these three increase, AD goes up. We know that leakages are savings, taxation, and imports. If savings increase, consumption falls, so AD will fall. Sometimes the taxation increases in the economy, people have got less disposable income, consumption falls. Imports going up means money's leaking out of the economy, so AD would fall. Of course, these different letters changing can create both positive and negative multipliers. For example, if investment was to increase, businesses normally need to take on board more workers. More employment means there's more consumption because more people got more money to spend in the economy. Leakages though, if consumption falls due to higher savings, businesses will stop investing, which means that investment falls and overall AD falls, i.e. we've got a negative multiplier effect.